In this video, we will talk about how to write absolute value equations given the solutions to the equations. So I have a couple examples for us to work through here. Let's check out this first example. It says write an absolute value equation that has the solutions x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 10. So when we're writing these absolute value equations, here's the formula that we can use. We say the absolute value of x minus the midpoint of the solutions is equal to the distance from each solution to the midpoint. So in this first example here, we're told the solutions are x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 10. So for this formula, the first thing we need to find is the midpoint between these two solutions. So we can find the midpoint of two numbers by just adding those numbers together, so 4 plus 10, and dividing by 2. So we would get 4 plus 10 is 14, divided by 2, 14 divided by 2 is 7. So the midpoint between 4 and 10 is 7. So we can write the absolute value of x minus the midpoint of 7 is equal to, and on this right-hand side of the equation, all we're going to write is the distance from either solution to the midpoint. So for this part of the problem, it could help if you draw a number line, just to kind of visualize if we have 4 right here and 10 is out here. 7 we found is the midpoint, directly between 4 and 10. What is the distance from 4 to 7? Well, that would just be a distance of 3. To go from 4 to 7, you add 3. Or to go from 7 to 10, what's that distance? That's also 3. So all we're going to write on this right-hand side is 3. So this is our absolute value equation for this one. And what you'll find is that if you plug in either of the solutions, so if you plug in a 4 or you plug in a 10, you'll find that you get a true statement. So if we plug in a 4 here, we get 4 minus 7, which is negative 3. The absolute value of negative 3 is indeed positive 3. Or if you plug in a 10 for x, you get 10 minus 7, which is 3, and the absolute value of 3 is also 3. So that's just a way to double check that you got the right equation. All right, let's check out this second example. It says, write an absolute value equation that has the solutions x is equal to negative 5 and x is equal to 2. So once again, we're going to use this formula up here, where the first step is let's find the midpoint between the solutions. So again, the midpoint between negative 5 and 2 will be calculated as negative 5 plus 2 divided by 2. So negative 5 plus 2, that's negative 3. Negative 3 divided by 2 is negative 1.5 as a decimal. So the midpoint is negative 1.5. So for our equation, we can write the absolute value of x minus negative 1.5. And then we can set that equal to the distance from either solution to the midpoint. So again, it helps if we draw a number line, just so we can visualize it. If we have negative 5 right here, we have 2 somewhere out here, we just found that the midpoint is negative 1.5. So what's the distance from either solution to the midpoint? Well, the distance from negative 5 to negative 1.5, that's 3.5. And similarly, the distance from negative 1.5 to a positive 2 is also 3.5. So 3.5 is what we will write right here. Now, one last thing that we need to modify in the absolute value bars is we're subtracting a negative value. So that's the same as adding a positive value. So what we can really write is x plus 1.5 is equal to 3.5. So this equation will be our final solution. And once again, if you plug in a value of negative 5 or a value of 2 in for x right here, you'll find that you get a true result.